Hello and welcome back to the Joyful Soul Creates. Charlotte here, and today I'm sharing a quick and easy masked Valentine's card. This is my project for the Watercooler Wednesdays challenge this week, which is all about holidays. And originally I was thinking of doing a Christmas card, but then I thought with Valentine's coming up it would make more sense to do a Valentine's card. So I started by cutting a mask for my layout just from a piece of scrap paper. And I've positioned this over the front of my card base, and it's held in place with some scrap post-it tape which I used on a previous project. Then I'm going to ink through that mask with the Modern Rose Blooms background stamp from Simon Says Stamp, and this came in their August card kit. And I'm using embossing ink because I'm going to heat emboss it, and I'll be doing the emboss resist technique. With big stamps, one way to make sure they stamp better, because they're such a large area, is you can run your brayer over it. I only have a very small brayer. This would probably work better with a larger one, but that's just one tip if you want to make sure you got it pressed down well. Once I had all the stamping done, I'm going to sprinkle some clear embossing powder over it. I'm running very, very low on clear embossing powder, but I think one of the Simon Says Stamp card kits, the February one, I think has some in it. So I just need to wait for that to arrive and then I won't need to buy any more. So I'll just coat that with the embossing powder and tap off the excess. And I've left the mask in place for now, but you could remove it if you prefer at this stage, because I'm actually going to change the mask in a little while anyway, and I'll explain why when we get there. So then I'll heat set the embossing powder, and I know it's very difficult to see because it's white on white, or well, clear on cream to be a bit more accurate. But I've just had my heat gun heating up off to the side, and I'll just heat set all of that, and once I am happy with it I will move on to my ink blending. As I said, I did decide to change my masks before ink blending. This was in part because the stamping did not stamp all the way up to the edge of the original mask, and I wanted my ink blending to be constrained to the area where the heat embossing is. So I put new masks just with some post-it tape so that they're butted up to the very edge of the heat embossing, so that the blended area will just be the heat embossed area. Then I'm going to use some Festive Berries Distress Oxide, and this came in, I think it was the December card kit, and this is the first time I've used it, so I have a brand new blending tool, and I did make sure to load it up very well with ink before starting, because sometimes the new blending foams can be a bit difficult to work with. But once I had it very inky, it was really easy to get the blending done. So I just put a quick layer of ink all over that embossed area, and then I will take a dry cloth and buff away the ink from the heat embossing, and this is the emboss resist technique. And I did actually, if you're interested, do a video a little while ago comparing the emboss resist technique to embossing after doing the ink blending, just to see what the difference is and why people tend to prefer the emboss resist technique. So if you're interested in seeing that, I will link to it in the top right hand corner. After removing my masks, I noticed there was a little smudge at the top, so I'm just going to use my sand eraser to remove the ink from there. Then I'm going to work on the last part of my card, which is my little sentiment focal point. I guess it's not really an actual sentiment, but here again I stamped and embossed my sentiment of sorts onto a snippet of white card, and I've clear heat embossed it again. My idea being that it would be the same colour as the floral background, but of course it's not, because actually I used a cream card base and the circle I used here is white. So the letters on the circle are a different colour than the flowers, but I don't think it matters too much. So then I just quickly ink blended around it, trying to keep the ink stronger to the outside and a bit lighter towards the middle. Again, I'll buff away the excess ink from the lettering, and then I will adhere it to my card base with foam tape to pop it up and give it some dimension. I did notice a couple of other smudges on the card base, so I just used the sand eraser to get rid of those as well. And once I'm happy with the position, I'll press the little circle into place, and that completes my card. This really was a very quick and easy card to make. I hope it has inspired you. If you would like to make a Valentine's card or any other kind of holiday card, feel free to come and link up with us over at the Watercooler Wednesday challenge. I will share a link to that down in the description box below. All of the products I have used for this card are linked down below as well. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down below, and if you enjoyed this video you can press the like button. If you didn't, you can always press the dislike button, which is right next to it. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel and see more of my videos, you can press the button that's on screen now, and if you'd rather not wait for more of my videos, there are a couple of other ones showing on screen that you might enjoy. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time. Bye!